How are we all doing, guys? I hope you're all well. As you can probably hear from my voice, I haven't been too well recently. That's not stopped me getting some rewards on Sorare NBA. Let me open up the reward that I got last week and also build my lineups for this week and show you where I'm doing, how I'm doing in the in-season tournament and everything. I missed last week. It was a whole thing. Let's get into it. Before we jump into the rest of this video though, nearly 80% of you are not subscribed to us here at the Swingman Podcast. Now, if you love the NBA and you want to stay in depth with everything this season, and also the Sorare NBA stuff we're going to be doing, and trust me, you're going to want to stay involved with it, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It will really help us out more than you could possibly imagine. Let's get on with the video. So, yes, as you can see, I'm currently 339th in the in-season tournament rewards. I'll run you through some of the stuff for that, possibly in another video for it. I'm not going to do a too in-depth one this week. I'm going to go through the rewards I won last Friday. I'm trying to think of where it's been for it now. Excuse the voice. We did finish 30th in Rare Contender. I think I finished 31st in Rare Contender this week, so there'll be another rare reward opening that we're going to get in there. We've been doing pretty well. We had 31st in Limited Champ. There's a thing with 30th going on, is the theme. I can only really finish inside the top 30 or around that at the moment, but I'm not quite sure who's available in the tier 3 pool. I'm just hoping it's someone that's somewhat usable. We'll open up the common first because, you know, that's just kind of what you do. These are actually be beneficial right now, as that's a bonus. I'll take it as a bonus. I need guys that are like in and around the 30-40 cap mode, because I've got a Kawhi Leonard and a Luka, and then I've got loads of people in like a low 10, an L10 of like 15. So I'll take it as a bonus, but we're here for the tier 3. Can it be good? Clippers. Guard.
There's Russell Westbrook.
I'll take a Russell Westbrook from a tier 3. I feel like that's good. 42 of an L10 though actually is very, very high. Let me check what Russell Westbrook is right now. Right, so I've pulled up Russell Westbrook on Sorare data, the way that just you can look at things a little bit better in any case. £33 is his floor price, but that's going to include the old Season 1 cards. So if I quickly check the auctions and live market, 46 quid was his last one, 61 there, so probably around the 45 mark. If I look at his scoring, L10 of 42 is really high for him. And yes, because he's been doing very well, but I don't think that's going to be sustainable, because now James Harden's in town. He's not going to be holding the ball that much. I know they're going to plan. I saw Shams was saying that they're going to try and start Westbrook, Harden, George, Leonard and Zubac, but I don't see that working in the long run. So he'll be an interesting one to hold potentially, but he might be someone that I look to flip, because I'm not sure he's going to fit in many of my lineups, especially this week. With an L10 of 42, I don't see it happening. Let me build my common lineup for the card that I'll give away, and then we'll do limited, and then we'll do rare. And actually, I'll show you my in-season tournament stuff as well, like I just mentioned. Right then, so as I mentioned beforehand when getting that Sabonis, he'll definitely help me out here. So Luka and Kawhi, I'll throw in already. Kawhi's going to get rested at some point. He's going to get an in-game management decision to sit. Game management decision to sit. So 2 games on the road, the Nets and Brooklyn. He's probably going to sit, I would say, the Nets game. Especially now that they've got Westbrook and they've got Harden. Now, I'm not sure they're going to be playing all 4 of them at once many times. We didn't see this with Paul George and Kawhi for a lot of it. But Sabonis will go in there as well. That leaves me 17 for 2. I'm not going to play Derek White because he's the doubt. I don't want to play Nurkic because he's Nurkic. Tobias Harris potentially. Depends on... To be honest, so I'm picking another guy at the Sixers outside of Maxey and Embiid. I'm probably picking Kelly Oubre right now over Tobias Harris. But I know I've got a Malik Beasley who's got 3 games this week. That leaves me 21. And as you can see, my common gallery just isn't stacked enough yet. So I'm not going to roll the dice on a Gabe Vincent being back and healthy. I'm probably going to put in Davion Mitchell, because De'Aaron Fox is still going to be out. I'm leaving 8 points of cap available here, but this is probably the best lineup I can do, unless I think I'll have a swap right before the deadline. And if that is the case, I'll try and see if I can move on like a Royce O'Neal or someone of that accord. But that's the lineup we'll do. As always, if I do win. I came 400th and something last week, so we were so close to a limited giveaway. But as always, if I do win a limited card in it, I'll give it away to someone that subscribes to the channel. So just leave a comment down below and you will be picked if I win at random. So there we go. On to the limited lineups. Right then, limited champion then. Luka Doncic. I'm not playing him in my in-season tournament side, so I can throw him in on limited champion. 54 L10. I really like the game against the Magic and the Raptors. He can go off in either of these here. So he's been scoring really well, especially at the start of the season. The last 3 games have kind of tailed off a little bit, but I'm expecting Luka to put up a pretty big score in that Toronto game nonetheless. Second slot is going to go to Joel Embiid. Again, same sort of thing. Really strong start and then tailed off a little bit here. But that game against Washington could be special. It could be special. Boston, he might as well have one game. I'm not worried about Embiid at Boston. It's not going to go well. But Washington, yeah, I'll have some Embiid action at that point. We'll scroll on down here. We'll go and get our 2 cheaper guys, actually. And they're going to be the same as always because, well, as always for the past few games. Jordan Poole he hit a 40 last week, but he hasn't really ignited in the way people were hoping him to, which has meant that his cap has stayed relatively low. It's still at 20. I think he started at 17. So 2 games, Philly, Charlotte, potential there, but we'll wait and see what Jordan Poole has up his sleeve for us. Ben Simmons, L10 of 20. I really like the game against the Bucks for him. The Bucks have looked... They're not ready, it seems, yet. They're still adjusting to life without Drew Holiday and life with Dame Lillard, and Dame Lillard hasn't sort of come in and dropped the 50-point bombs that everyone thought he was going to do yet. I don't really doubt it. I think it's just some teething problems. So we'll throw Ben Simmons in any case because I'll get involved in that action for now. That leaves me with 30 left. I could go Aaron Gordon here. Aaron Gordon is a solid sort of 35 to 40 point scorer on Sorare terms, but I'm actually going to look at Franz Wagner here. The Dallas game and the Hawks game, 2 teams that are notoriously bad at defense. Markelle Fultz is out for the Magic, which is going to be the slight concern for me here. And they're also missing Wendell Carter Jr. But I think this will mean and translate to Franz Wagner seeing a little bit more of the ball. I think he'll play around 35 minutes as well. 2 games against Dallas and the Hawks. I'll have him in there. That rounds off my... And I also really like it. I don't know about you. I really like it when I use my full cap. When there's nothing left on the table, I really like that. Let's build my limited contender now. Limited underdog, and then we'll do our res. Right then, limited contender. I'm actually not going to go for Aaron Gordon like I was talking about in that last one. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to pick Bam Adebayo. And that's primarily because the more and more I'm thinking about it, I'm going to bank on the fact that potentially AD might sit and or the Heat might rest players. And Bam's not going to be one of them. Bam against Memphis in that game, I could see a big score coming. That's why I'm going to roll the dice with Bam on the contender mode here. Can it pay off? Absolutely. Could it also absolutely fail? Yes, but I'm going to roll the dice with it. Nikola Vucevic is going to be the second pick if I select the second slot. That's going to go well there. Nikola Vucevic is going to be the second slot. I really like him in the contender lineups at the moment right now. Got him at 5.5%. Against Utah and against Phoenix, I like him. It's just what are Chicago going to do? What Chicago Bulls are you going to get is the issue that comes with picking out Nikola Vucevic. My next option is going to be someone that is in pretty good form right now. Is Dylan Brooks at an L10 of 20, playing Sacramento and the Lakers. I want to pick guys that have 2 games. I'm sure there's guys in my gallery here like Jeremy Grant that's probably projecting a little bit better, but I don't want to risk it with that 1 game. I want to have the security of that second option that could come through, especially in a week where there are people that are going to have sort of 2 and 3 games like some of the guys on the Bucks do. We'll scroll on down towards our back end options here, and they've got to be cheap because I've only got an L10 of 9 left on average. So one of them's going to be Shake Milton. He's at an L10 of 6 playing at the Timberwolves now. Timberwolves have been an interesting team to watch currently for it, but as you can see, he's put up scores of around the 17, the 13 and the 16. Have a special place in my heart for Shake Milton after last year's heroics when he come in for me at points for the Sixers when they had every guard injured. That leaves me 12 left, and that's 1 man only, Josh Richardson. There is an argument to be said for putting Cam Reddish in there. He had that excellent defensive display against the Clippers, but I feel that Josh Richardson's probably going to be the safer bet here in terms of he's now starting to settle in Miami, and I think he's the safer bet for playing and getting some good minutes and defensive actions. That's my limited contender lineup. If there's anyone I should change out in there, let me know in the comments down below. Right then, limited underdog as well. I won't take up too much time with this one as this is just underdog. It's where I throw all of my really cheap L10 playing guys and see if they outperform their cap into a way in which you can earn a little cheeky reward. I've got a few Jackson Hayes, and that's because I've been buying a couple up on the limited and the rest side. I feel that AD is due an injury, shall we say, if we look at historical data soon. And I think that could mean that Jackson Hayes will see a bump in some of his minutes. He was getting some minutes against the Clippers, so I think he'll be in that rotation-esque if AD sits a couple of games soon. So we'll throw him in at the start of this cheaper building side of things. If we look on down towards some of the other guys that I've got here, Ja Morant, yeah, that's gone well. Sam Hauser will throw in at an L10 and 9. He's been getting some strong minutes actually for the Celtics there. Cam Reddish, do I want to put Cam Reddish in? I do want to put Cam Reddish in there. That leaves me then 18 left for the last 2 spots. I could see, if I throw in Matisse Thybulle and play the risk of the 1 game, that leaves me 23. I can't really go out and get anyone on the 23 side. If I take him out and put Paul Reed in, that leaves me 27, which means that I could get Lou Dort or Jordan Clarkson. Jordan Clarkson's got me a 30s in his locker, but so does Lou Dort, and I prefer Lou Dort for that. There is a chance as well Embiid will sit the Boston game. I could so see that happening. So I'm going to run with this and run with Lou Dort, and we'll see how we go with it. Let's have a look at my rare lineups now. Right, so with this rare lineup, I'm actually going to prioritise rare champion for the first time in Season 2. I know, mental stuff. And in doing so, Devin Booker's still got a sore toe or something like that, but he's not been playing any games. Ant-Man is still a little bit too high to then play both him, Dame, and someone else. But Dame has 3 games this week. Surely he has a score in him out of one of the games against Detroit or Brooklyn. There has to come a Dame game for the Bucks. I know he had the 59 game week 1, but I mean like a proper announcement Dame game. Like I want a 60, 70 point score. There has to be one coming. I'm hoping it's this week that comes. I really want to play Jimmy Butler. And I know 39 is still probably par for the course with him is the issue. But it's Jimmy Butler. That's why I want to play him. And I like him in that Memphis game and the Lakers game. I'm just so concerned over the injury doubts with him. Jaylen Brown, I think, is also a really nice piece this week. So if I throw Jaylen Brown in, I know Brogdon is like the absolute must of all musts this week as well. But he's only got the 1 game, which puts me off. So I'm not going to put him in this champion lineup. I'm going to put Jordan Poole in there. Bruce Brown's got 3 games. Oh, that leaves him with 47. I've got such a high cap here. I can put that together. I don't think I want to do that though. And I don't know if oh, this is tough. I go Dame Lillard. I'll go Jimmy Butler. We'll put Jimmy in the right slot. We'll go Dame Lillard. We'll go Jimmy Butler. We'll go Mikal Bridges against that Bucks team. And they'll turn a 32. We'll have some of that action. 24 left. That means I could then go out, scoop up Brogdon. That leaves me 29 and pick Aaron Gordon. I like that quite a lot. I just don't like Brogdon with that 1 game, so I could put Jordan Poole in instead, or Bruce Brown. Who is the better 20 out of your head this week for Bruce Brown, Malcolm Brogdon, or Jordan Poole? Let me know down below. I'm going to settle with Jordan Poole, as I think he has the higher ceiling here. Which is mental, because this is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result when it's Jordan Poole. But we're going to run that as the lineup, I think, for champion. I think that looks good, with Lillard, Butler, and Bridges, and then Poole and Gordon as the backup ones. What are these options here? I just different ways of showing it. And then stay with me, because I will also do my rare contender right now. So in terms of this, I think Jaylen Brown has to go in here at 33. I then want Wiggs is 21 now. I know he's been doing bad recently. Well, he's just not seeing as much as the ball really, because there's CP3 and Steph. But Wiggs at 21 seems mad. He's got potentials for 40 and 30s quite comfortably. So I want him in there. Bruce Brown I want in there. Brogdon I want in there. That then leaves me 16. And Gary Trent Jr. is 16 against the Mavs. But he's been scoring rubbish. But that looks really good to me as a contending lineup. That looks really good to me for a contender lineup. Let me know what you think. I'm not playing Jaren Jackson Jr., which seems like a waste because he's been on scintillating form recently. But we'll run that as my rare contender, and we'll also do rare underdog. Yeah, let's just do it all in one go right now. And then rare underdog. We'll scroll on down here because we need some cheap guys. We'll put Jackson Hayes in there. It'd be nice when Jared Vanderbilt comes back as well. But we've got Jackson Hayes' new card in there, like I said, that picked up. We'll throw in Sam Hauser. We'll also throw in Javon Carter. We're also throwing Cam Reddish. I'm not playing Utah because he's getting 25 minutes a game but taking 3 shots. That leaves me with 27. I could put... do you know what? Andrew Nemhard's got 26 here. And there is a chance that Halliburton doesn't play one of these games. So we'll throw Andrew Nemhard in there as well. That looks pretty good for a rare underdog. And that rounds off all my teams. Let me quickly show you as well before we go. I'm currently sitting in 339th in the advanced and limited and rare in-season tournament mode. That's seeing me hit a lovely little $20. But, I mean, look, I'm 14 points away from the next tier. And what's that? 30 away from the $50. So over the course of the month, there's going to be room to move in and out of these positions, especially now. Oh, that's actually a benefit of having that Westbrook. I suppose I could keep him for this. Let me know how you guys are getting on in the in-season tournament if you are playing it as well. I really want to know how you're doing and what you think of that sort of format of the month-long thing that Sorare seem to be doing now on a few of their game modes. Let me know down below. That is going to wrap that one up there. Apologies again for the voice. If you did enjoy this video and the Sorare stuff that we're doing, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would help us out more than you could possibly imagine. We do have an NBA podcast coming this week at some stage. We've just had conflicting calendars and obviously I've been a little bit poorly. Yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you very much for listening. Good luck in the game week and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.